How does Erin Patterson say she was wrongly convicted? Well, let's count the ways. There are 7 grounds of appeal in documents lodged by Erin Patterson's lawyers with the Victorian Supreme Court. And now, of course, it's up to the Court of Appeal to decide whether or not to grant leave to Erin Patterson. So let's have a look. Ground 1 is a fundamental irregularity occurred while the jury were sequestered. Now, we don't know exactly what Patterson's lawyers are referring to there, but it was reported after the trial that the jury, while they were in lockdown considering their verdict, was in the same hotel as members of legal teams and even journalists. The second ground is that cell tower evidence and evidence of death cap mushroom sightings in Loch and Outram posted to the iNaturalist website should not have been included in the prosecution's case. Erin Patterson saying it wasn't fair that the jury was told about how her phone was pinging off cell towers in the same spots where death cap mushrooms had been sighted by people posting on an iNaturalist website. The third ground is that photos and videos related to mushrooms found on SD cards at Erin Patterson's home, the judge ruled those out of the trial. Erin Patterson saying they should have been allowed in. It's possible that what Erin Patterson's going to argue is that the judge didn't let the jury see and hear evidence of what Erin Patterson claimed, that she was an innocent mushroom forager, that this was her hobby, and there was plenty of evidence of that on these SD cards. The fourth ground is that the judge made a mistake by allowing the jury to hear what's called the Facebook evidence. That means posts that Erin Patterson was making. Ground 5 is that a substantial miscarriage of justice has occurred because of unfair and oppressive cross-examination of Erin Patterson. Now, defendants don't like being cross-examined. Obviously, it's a pretty horrible experience for anyone to go through. She's saying that Nanette Rogers, the Crown prosecutor, went too hard. Erin Patterson's sixth ground is a claim that prosecutor Nanette Rogers caused a substantial miscarriage of justice in her closing address. And ground 7 elaborates on why Patterson says that's the case. She says a substantial miscarriage of justice occurred because even though in her opening address, Nanette Rogers had said, "We're not going to present you with a motive here, we're just going to show you the evidence," Patterson claims that in her closing address, Nanette Rogers did imply a motive. Now, the judges will look very closely at what Nanette Rogers said in that closing address, but I recall from covering it that Rogers did go into the fact that Simon Patterson, Erin Patterson's husband, was supposed to have been a guest at the fatal lunch, but declined to attend, something that really, according to her messages, made Erin Patterson upset and annoyed. So now it's over to the Victorian courts to decide if this appeal can go ahead.